Okay, here we are, another handheld video with my phone. Everybody really likes those, right? There was some time ago video of our soundboard concept where we have Adafruit amp and speaker, or soundboard and an amplifier going to a speaker and their wireless remote, so that we could get some sounds. And to do that, we had to go through relay box, and it started to look big. We weren't sure, are we going to be able to fit this into a tender when we have a lot of other stuff in it? Well, okay. Yeah. It's in there. Everything we need and more is in there. Took me 2 days to wire it, and I haven't tried it yet. I'm nervous. The power pickups are underneath coming up. They go into a rectifier that's buried deep inside. From the rectifier, AC goes to this Lionel power board, while DC goes to these two I've done this before, buck boost boards. And what we're trying to do is make sure, since they can boost and buck voltage in the regulation process, we want to get a good 9 volts out of both of them. So if it's 5 volts, they'll take amps and convert it to 9 volts, and if it's 12 volts, they can clip it down to 9 volts, okay? So we got 9 volts, and this goes toward the engine, and this handles the notions of the smoke and the puff and chuff boards if they're needed. If we don't need puff and chuff, we can take one of these out. For example, if you have a Flyer smoke and it has the mechanical puff and chuff, one of these buck boosts goes away. You're fine. But we're still talking to our regulated smoke board in a metal Flyer as well. Okay. We send these signals in through the radio receiver, which is right here. The radio receiver sends those to this relay box. He interprets that signal and sends that relayed button push down to the soundboard. The soundboard finds the sound in its software, shifts it over to the amplifier. The amplifier bumps it up in power and then sends it to the speaker. That's how that works. And then in the engine, there'll be a motor, and the motor wires are right here. These are coming out of the Lionel controller, and that gives you forward and reverse. This is one of the 9 volt leads here, another one here. They'll be put into a harness. There's the other 9 volts on this side. So there'll be 6 wires going forward to the engine. And then the engine, of course, has its own problems, but it's okay. That's the remains of the cannibalized Mule 1. This is Mule 2. Well, this is the Mule 2 speaker side. Haven't built the engine side yet, but I'm going to run this over and do a low volt test and see if anything's bad. But I did do a little diagram, very crude and rude, to show you what's inside. For this, we have our power all-wheel pickups, okay? That goes into the regulator. Part of that goes to the 102 for control. The other regulated power goes to the buck boost boards to get 9 volts, and some of that goes to a 5 volt regulator to feed soundboards. That's a soundboard, that's an amp board. Radio receiver receives a button push that you want. I want a whistle, I want a steam whistle. Relay takes steam whistle, sends it down to the smoke. Smoke says, oh, here's the whistle, here's the formula, or here's the directory. Sends it over to the amp sends it up to the speaker, and you hear the whistle. And all that happens in milliseconds, okay? So all of this and all of the interconnecting wires are in here. Yow. So in summary, you got 3 volt regulators, 2 soundboards, relay, rectifier, I forget. I can't remember. Controller and something else. And so 9 devices. Oh, and a speaker. 9 devices total. 9. This is a device. That's a device. That's a device. That's a device. Oh God. All right. I have, according to my watch, 5 minutes. So I've probably got 15 to 20 minutes. I want to do this carefully, so I'm not going to just rush it over and put 17 volts on here and watch it fry. I'm going to try 5 volts, and then I'm chasing the 5 volts to see where it's coming out and if there's any problems. That's where I'm going to go now. But boy, what a mess. And then, of course, we haven't really done it yet, but I'm pretty sure the wires are sticking out, but they'll tuck in and that guy will slide right down. Okay. Okay, more later.